Hey there, this is Hunter with the Kingdom Business Owner. Today I have my good friend Justin Boling, and we talk about EOS, we talk about vision and traction, and how that glorifies God. So we get really practical here in this pod. You're not gonna wanna miss running on EOS for the glory of God on the Kingdom Business Owner. All right, everybody. Well, we're here on the Kingdom Business Owner podcast. I'm here with my good friend, Justin Boling. Love you, man. So thankful that you're on the podcast. I've been trying to get you on here for like 3 months, and you keep like skipping out on me, some garbage excuse, whatever. But I'm thankful that you're here. Dude, say what's up to the people. What are you about?
No, I'm blessed, man. It's an honor. It's not about me is why that is. It's like there's so many other people in this world and this city that you should have on here before me. So I'm stoked to be here. But yeah, man, born and bred in Fort Collins, man. So this is my home. This is where I live. This is where I love. The heart of it is I just want to help people and businesses here in Northern Colorado. That's the goal. And father of 5, husband of almost 20 years. Yeah. And second generation entrepreneur, and just building businesses, loving people, and trying to raise kids that love Jesus.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, well, our lives have crossed paths a lot over the years. I love that you're a friend and a colleague. We work together in the Foundry Advisory. Yeah. Man, we steward and shepherd people's businesses in these like pretty intimate group settings. And so, man, it's an honor to do life with you, work alongside you, and also kick your butt in fantasy football. Anyways, man, it's a joy to do all the things. We
can talk about the technicalities of that later. Yeah. That's a separate podcast.
That's fair. Well, and you also helped integrate EOS into my marketing agency. Yep. And that's been a huge blessing, man. Yeah. For those of the listeners that don't know what EOS is, give us like the 2-minute rundown on what EOS is.
Yeah. So EOS stands for the Entrepreneurial Operating System. And essentially, it's a way to harmonize and orchestrate all the moving parts of a business. And when we're working with a client or like with you guys, the 3 things that we really focus on and we strengthen in that process are what we call vision, traction, and healthy. So vision being 100% alignment on where they're going and how they're going to get there. And then traction from the standpoint of bringing that vision down to the ground and instilling the disciplines and the accountabilities into the organization so that you're seeing that vision come to life every single day through everything that's happening, right? You're seeing the consistency. And then the healthy from the standpoint of creating that open, honest, and vulnerable team environment, right? Where you're able to have those conversations and do all that stuff. Because I don't know about you, but most of the ones I've ever been a part of are not like that.
Yes.
Right. And being able to have those open conversations and discuss and debate and walk out and still be cordial and friends is such an understated part of a business and its business success.
Yes.
So those are what we kind of call the 3 pillars of what we work with clients on.
I love it, man. Yeah. It's super helped us in our organization in getting ridiculously clear on where we're going. Yeah. And then, what I love about EOS, dude, is it's just so simple. Like, I'm not that smart of a guy.
Same.
I can't follow like these crazy operating systems.
Nope.
But what I love about EOS is it's just like, it's made for the dumb entrepreneur, which is most entrepreneurs. Because we're always, most entrepreneurs that I know are pretty dumb because they take big leaps that don't even make sense.
Right.
But then they need EOS because it's so simple. Yep. So I'm like, oh, dude, I need this because I'm not that smart of a guy.
Yeah, it's laser focus on the right things.
Yes.
And it's the metaphor of you can splash water on a rock, right? Which is cool, right? And it gets the rock wet and whatever. But if you're dripping water on the rock consistently in the same spot, right? What's it do? It creates a hole. Yeah. Right. And it's that consistency and it's that laser focus on the right things. And that's then where on the other result of that then is then you get your life outside of work. Right. Sure. And then you get to focus on all the other things, your family, the other things you enjoy doing. Right. And you can then have these 2 amazing things coexist at the same time. Cause for me, that it becomes the passion and why I do it now is like that for me is allowing people to know and to live the life they want to live and grow a successful business.
Yes.
And to do it at the same time. Right. That to me is the key and the true bread and butter and the success of EOS within a business is all the stuff outside of it.
Come on. EOS is not it's not a Christian thing.
Nope.
But why does EOS glorify God?
Because it brings structure to chaos.
Yes.
Right. Like, which is biblical. Right. And so when you're bringing, just like you go to the gym, right, we take care of our bodies, or we're doing whatever. Whenever you bring structure and organization to something, you talk about it with budgets, you talk about it with money, any of that, right? That's a biblical standard that we are held to as believers. And if you're doing the same thing, we think oftentimes as entrepreneurs that we just build it and we just go, and we start then putting duct tape and twine and whatever with it. At some point it explodes, right? So if we can bring order to the chaos and structure it in a way of that is glorifying God, right? That is bringing glory to him and saying, hey, this is yours. Yeah. We're doing it in this way. And again, goes back to then the outside benefit of that is, dude, then you have more time with your kids, with your wife, with your friends, right? To pastor other business owners, to do those other things that you're called to do as well.
Yes. Simply
because you're bringing order and structure to the bread and butter of what's paying your bills ultimately.
Come on. So good, man.
Yeah.
I heard John Piper say, in relation to work and why our work matters. He said, my job is faithfulness.
Yeah.
God's job is fruitfulness.
Yeah.
And I think that relates so much to EOS, because it's like, man, for me to do a faithful job and steward this really well, it means that we're setting a vision, we're tracking every KPI, we're setting meetings that help really make sure that we're on track, because I believe that honors God. What I don't believe honors God is like, hey, we're just going to make a Christian business that does mediocre work and we just serve other Christians and they do mediocre work. Like, that's just not super God honoring. What is super honoring is making a excellent business that is driven on mission and on purpose, and is really clear about how it's actually going to impact the kingdom. Yeah. So anyways, man, I'm all for EOS.
Yeah. Well, and saying that too, we were talking about this. Well, we weren't. The pastor was talking about it at church on Sunday, and it was the concept, and I'd never thought of it this way, but he was saying work was created before sin. And I was like, dang. That's
good.
Like, and the concept of that was like, we're created to work, we're created to build, we're created to do those things, right? And the fact that it was created before sin entered the world or all these other things was just the foundational fact of that's what we're created to do. We're here to create, we're here to do things, we're here to toil in the ground or till the land or whatever it is, but that's what we're here to do. We're not here to just sit on the sidelines and watch things happen.
Yes.
He built us to create. Right. And that was one of the things that was created before everything else. Amen. Right. That was mind blowing to me.
And it's holy.
Yeah.
It's holy to be an entrepreneur, man. It's holy to work at a bank. It's like all of it is sacred.
Yeah.
And so we've just in the West have really missed the mark on only the vocational pastor that's getting paid is doing holy work. But it's like, no, it's actually man, we're all doing God's work because he called us to create and it's sacred. And so, yeah, man, I think that's good. And man, we've talked a lot about, why business matters, like in the Foundry and EOS. Speak to that, man. Like, what have you seen with other entrepreneurs on why our work matters on this side of eternity?
Yeah, I'll take it from an EOS standpoint, and I'll talk about roughly one of my clients. But the piece of it to me that gets so to the heart of this is what we call the core focus, to go out mission, hedgehog, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But the core focus side of this is when teams get it, right? There's this feeling of excitement that starts to happen in the room, right? And had a client down in Denver, and they were like really struggling to get to it, and you can just tell, like, they're just like, yeah, that's cool. And the hard part was at the time it was about revenue, and that's what it was focused on for them. And you could just tell the three of them were just, this isn't it. Like, there's something missing. And when they were able to switch it to rebuilding and revitalizing parts of their downtown areas and rebuilding and bringing life back, all three of them got like super stoked. And it was like, those are those moments where to that question where it's like, that's the game changer, right? That's what changes all of that. And it becomes less about the dollar, right? And now it's been 2 or 3 months since they've changed that. And dude, they're killing it now because they have such a clear aligned core focus on why everything that they're doing, from invoicing to hiring to business process to safety meetings, like all of it now is aligned to this one reason, right? And whether that's focused on Jesus or not, they have an aligned core focus.
So good.
Right. And that for them and that for businesses breathes in the even like we were talking about before, the laser focusedness, but allows them to just have that energy that is exciting to them on a daily basis.
Yes.
This is why we get up and pound the emails. This is why we go meet people. This is why we do it this way. Right. And that is what lights those fires in those businesses to be excellent.
Come on, dude. So good.
Yeah.
When you super clearly define your why and your mission, man, it changes everything.
Yeah.
My mentor, man, who has really just been speaking life into Beyond Blue, and even over our BHAG, he uses this like really simple thing of the 5 whys.
Yeah.
Like you ask why 5 times to a BHAG.
Yep.
And our BHAG, just to be transparent at Beyond Blue, is man, we want to get to 3.5 million top line. That's the BHAG.
Yep.
And when I told him that, he's like, well, why? And I was like, well, because of this. And he's like, and then he said, why? And I said, well, I think probably because of this. And he asked it 5 times.
Right.
And his whole deal is, man, if after 5 whys into your BHAG, if it's not for the glory of God and the good of others, it's probably not a great BHAG.
Right.
It's probably not going to get you up out of bed, over the long haul.
Right.
So how do you coach people into like really understanding where they're going, or do you just let them kind of figure that out and then you help them shape it?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the personalities in the room, right? Is kind of how I do it. I'm big on emotional intelligence, and so allowing the team to be the team. In what I do, I'm not a consultant, so a lot of it is facilitation and coaching, and teaching, right? And so I would say there's the biggest thing I do in that process is the setup, right? And it's explaining what that core focus means. Why is it? What is the importance of it? Why should it be something bigger than a number, right? And setting up the concept and the idea, because 99% of the time, like I've told you guys this, 99% of the time, the answer's already in the room. You guys already know what it is, right? We're just trying to uncover it. We're just trying to dig it out. And sometimes it takes a brave person in the room to say something, right? And say, hey, I think it's this. Right. Or I don't think it's that. Right. And to have those open conversations. And then at that point, it's the molding and the guiding of that. But from my standpoint and what I do, it's setting it up and it's creating that space. So you go back to the healthy aspect of a team. Oftentimes the ones that struggle to get that core focus, right? They're not to the point where they're being 100% open and honest yet. Right. Which is not always a negative, right? That's a journey. That's not a flip of the switch thing that happens in a business, right? It takes time to get to that point. So allowing them to do that and journey on that, that's what I'm there to do. I'm there to create that space and say, Hunter and team, hey, here you guys go. Here's what we're talking. Here's the setup. Here's what we're doing, right? And then it's asking the questions and it's continuing to nurture it. And then there's a point too where you have to kind of cut it off, because there's a point where it can go too far and it's not a helpful conversation. Right. And so you have to guide and facilitate through those things.
Dude, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah, man. I mean, I think you definitely have a big part to play in my story of getting reinvigorated with work.
Yeah.
So, man, thanks for doing what Jesus has asked you to do.
Yeah.
It's helped me kind of get realigned, refocused, and re-excited about, Beyond Blue Media. Yeah. So thank you, dude. Yeah. Super appreciate that.
Oh, humbled.
Let me switch gears. One thing I love about you, bro, is on your LinkedIn, man, you're always posting vulnerable, what feels like pretty authentic struggles. Like, here's what's real. Here's what's going on with me as an entrepreneur. Yeah. It feels like the inside scoop on the life of an entrepreneur. Yeah. Man, how has authenticity really played a role in, dude, just how you show up as a man and as a leader and as a business owner?
Dude, that's a great question. I don't know how else to be me if I'm not authentic, right? Like, if like there was large seasons of my life, like I'm not old, right? I'm like 42, but like there was large seasons of my life, even into my career in entrepreneurship stuff, where I wasn't authentically me. Yeah. Right. And it just feels gross, but I think sometimes we were talking about before this, like we all put on that face, right? Or the mask or whatever you want to call it. And there's moments for that, right? I get that. But, when when we grew a business and it sold and all that kind of stuff, like there was a moment where in that we were able to be authentic, right? And us, and that felt so freaking good. And it was like, then we sold and we went backwards and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, when I was looking for what was next and then landed on EOS implementation, I remember telling my wife, Elena, and I was like, okay, I'm going to have to get back into social media because I'd given it up for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if I get back in, I'm just going to be 100% me. And it is what it is. And I was like, I don't know how else to do this. And so I've just done that. And I think for me, honestly, it's more therapeutic probably than it is marketing. Right. Because it's like, whether I shoot my finger with a nail or, have an issue with a kid or, I'm talking to a business owner, right? I think that's where it changes from, and then you put in AI, right? Like I think authenticity, I was talking to a buddy, authenticity versus AI, real people, real stories, all that kind of stuff is going to become so much more valuable in my opinion as well.
Yes.
So I think that was a God ordained thing. I wasn't planning to try and be AI. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I don't know how else to be.
Yes.
Right. And so when we're in the Foundry even too, it's like, I always joke with my group. It's like, and they all joke now with me. It's like, hey, how long today till Justin cries? Right. Because it's like, that's me. Like, I don't know how else to be. Yeah. Like, and when we're able to get to that point, and it took me 40 years to get to that point, man, it's just me. Take it or leave it.
So good, man. So good. Yeah, man, it gets my wheels turned on the AI deal because it's part of the reason why the Foundry is going to win long term.
Yeah.
Is because people just crave like the real raw emotions and showing up without AI telling, and also on LinkedIn too, man. I get so frustrated when I see people's content and it is just like, you can tell a robot wrote this. Right. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah. Or the spam, the emails. Hey, if you're doing this, please stop doing this. And you get the LinkedIn DMs that slide into your DMs, right? And they're like, hey, I can get you 50 leads by the end of tomorrow. And I'm like, well, then you're in the wrong business. You should be doing what I'm doing if you can do that.
For sure, man.
But
for sure.
That's not real, right?
It's
and you
not
get
real.
the automated chains and I get it, it's marketing, but authenticity wins, man.
Amen.
So.
And a lot of people tell me like, dude, are you nervous about AI for your marketing company? And I so often I'm like, dude, it's just going to give us such an advantage because people are craving real authentic marketing now more than ever.
Yep.
So it gives us an opportunity. So, dude, that's so good. Thanks for being real and authentic. And that's been my experience of you, man, over the years, is you just showing up and being real. And so super appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
How has faith played a role in this entrepreneur journey of yours over the last 2 years of building your own practice?
It's been a process of rebuilding myself. And from the aspect of, I'm a known workaholic, like addicted to it. I love it. When we were growing our other businesses and doing all of our other stuff, it was like, I think I even shared this on LinkedIn a long time ago. It was like my routine was up at 4:30, hit the gym at 5, done at 6. I'm at the office at 6:15, and I'm grinding and I'm cranking, and I would stay till 6:30. Right? Like miss everything. Right. But I loved the work, right? That was the hard part. What I didn't know is the other side of that and the impact that was having on my marriage, on my kids, to the extent of like my 5, my 2 youngest are girls, they wouldn't cuddle anymore. Didn't know. It's not like, hey dad, we're not going to cuddle, but it was like, one day I just noticed they weren't coming up and sitting with me. And I was like, whoa. Like I've got to change them. So in this entrepreneur journey, it was like, I'm trying to build sustainably, right? And which is really hard, right? To be a driven person and want to grow and see things. And it's like, I know how to make it go faster, but to slow myself down and to get on my knees and pray and like, God, who should I call today? What should I do? Like, this is yours. This is not mine. Right. And to take that mindset rather than, hey, thank you. Cool. I'm good. Let's go build the crap out of this thing and on to the next. Right, wrong, and different. That was the learning. And so this time around, it's like, we're going to slow down and I'm going to force myself to slow down, as painful and as hard as it is. Like, And now I'm at a point where the healing on the personal side from marriage to kids is like night and day difference.
Wow.
Right. On that side. So all God, and he's blessing on a business side to extent of like, we call it with a couple other people that do it. I do kingdom biz dev, like people just calling, hey, let's go. It's like, okay, awesome. Like, and it's the silly things of like, man, prayer works.
Yes.
Like it's the number one marketing tool we have.
Fact. Preach.
Right. Like, why don't we use it? Right. Because it's easier to call 3 more people because I have control over that.
Dude, so good.
Like I can check off the box. Okay. I called 18 people this week, not 15. Boom, win. Killed it. Did you pray? Did I get on my knees 5 days a week? Right. So I put it on my scorecard too, like prayer break. Like, and my goal is 5. So I'm doing it every weekday. Some weeks I hit it, some weeks I don't. But like, it goes back to the same thing we talk about in sessions. Like I'm inspecting what I expect. If I expect to have God be in this thing and to do this thing and to truly rebuild it and look at this business different this time around, I've got to put the structures and the pieces in to make myself do it.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah. That's so good. Bro, this brings up this tension that I face daily of I'm all for like all the John Mark things of like slowing down.
Yep.
And that verse in 1 Thessalonians that says, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life.
Yeah.
Work with your hands, that whole deal. That versus the God has called us to work our butts off.
Yeah.
And he's called us. I mean, I know what God's called you to. You know what God's called me to. Like he's called us to a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of responsibilities, a lot of kids to take care of, like a lot of burdens to bear. So we got to work our faces off.
Yeah.
And so I regularly face this tension of like, oh man, I love the John Mark Comer, like sip coffee until 11 and bike into work and like work like 39 hours, like barely working, right?
Yeah.
This is what it feels like.
Yeah.
And also God's called us to this. So how do you manage like the tension between the two?
Dude, it's every day. Cause I think we entrepreneurs, I wouldn't even say just entrepreneurs, I'd say people in general, but entrepreneurs specifically, I think all struggle with that, right? How much is too much and how much is too less? But I think it's the mindset that we have to shift in that to say, okay, when I'm praying in the morning and I'm literally like, it's been the physical act of like putting my planner and my Bible on the ground and like putting my hands on them. I'm not trying to say that to like, hey, I'm awesome. I do that every day. I don't. But like doing that is work, right? And changing it from the separation of them, right? And for me previously, that's what it was.
Yes.
Right? That's one of the reasons I joined the Foundry, because I had built businesses and done life this way, right? And I wanted to do it this way. I wanted to bring them together and be around people that were like, hey, how do I build my core values with faith in there? How do I hire people with a biblical mindset? Like from people who've done it or are trying to do the same thing, right? And so changing those pieces and those practices, dude, it's a daily thing. Cause even driving in here today was like, man, I'm making calls, I'm calling people, I'm doing my thing. I'm like, oh, I need to slow down. Right. And it's catching the other side of that because we can grind so much. And I've been there to where it's like, dude, I was a shell, right? And it was an empty person and business was great, but there wasn't much inside. Right. And so it's that daily pink thing for me is, and the other thing I would say too, and this is where it goes back to the Foundry, or just having people like, we have to be surrounded with people that will hold us accountable to those things. Right. And ask, Hunter, are you really good? You know what I mean? And that's the other side of the open and honest piece of if we're going to manage through those processes and change those pieces, man, we've got to be in environments like the Foundry or team environments, or have people like that we can be open and honest and vulnerable with.
Bro, that's so good. Yeah. That's so good. Let me ask you this question, man. One of my, maybe not tensions, one of my struggles with EOS at times has been, and this is my own flesh, this is not EOS's fault. My own flesh can be, I make it it can feel like my savior. Yeah. Like if I feel like I have everything so figured out that I don't need a savior. Why do I need to pray if I have an L10?
Yeah.
Like, what, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why do I need the King of Kings
Yep.
if I have all of my crap together because everything is dialed in my Go 90 app that helps me track all my data.
Yep.
So how do you balance the two? Because I've wrestled with that tension in the last year working with you.
Yeah.
Of like, oh man, I want to be so dependent and desperate on the Holy Spirit.
Yep.
But also I know God's called me to plan and to work diligently and to steward.
Yep.
But then sometimes I lean too heavy on that versus not being dependent on Jesus.
Yeah. For me, it's been a journey of getting comfortable with the phrase wasting time. I don't waste time, right? Like I structure Elaine and I were talking about it yesterday. I structure so tightly on my calendars that like if something happens and a session moves and all of a sudden I have a day, I literally don't know what to do with myself. Right. And so it's like, how do I manage in that? What do I do in those spaces? Because that's where like, even you go back to extreme ownership, Jocko, right? Discipline is freedom. And it is. There's an element of that where just like we were talking about before, EOS brings order to chaos within business.
It's good.
Right. And it brings structure to that so that we can do the other things in life that bring us life. The other things that we want to do, golf, pickleball, start a foundry, do like these other things that God is calling us to do. The hard part is we as entrepreneurs really honestly suck at wasting time and creating that space because we fill it.
It's good.
Right. So what do I fill those days with? Oh, I go golfing or I do this. So it's like I take a selfish day, which is okay. But it's like because I'm so structured and there's no balance of wasting time and enjoying that stuff, I think oftentimes, and that's a cultural thing, right, as well, right? You were talking about that before. So I'm not good at it. That's probably one of my biggest struggles is, okay, how do I not manage my time as much, right? And it's like in what I do, like I don't have to, long term, I won't have to work as much as I used to. But I really enjoyed working 80, 90 hours a week.
Yeah, it's real.
Freaking loved it.
That's real.
Like, but now I'm playing Monopoly at 3:00 when my kids get home and my phone's sitting there. Like,
it's awesome.
Man, I could call 5 people right now and make some money. Right? Like good. This is, but it's hard, man. So I don't have an answer. Hopefully you do.
To ask the question, I don't know. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. But I do think that one thing that I've seen you do really well is it's less about trying to find balance and more about just integrating all the things. Like you've done a great job of integrating, like your business is your life and your family is your life, but it's not so compartmentalized that like you don't have to just clock out, but you have freedom to go play Monopoly with your kids at 3. So that feels like a really sweet place to be. Yeah. Overall, man, especially where you came from.
Yeah. It's weird. Like it's definitely weird. Like literally I was playing Monopoly with my 12-year-old and my 7-year-old, which that's a whole nother conversation. That's a trip. But like doing that. And I was like, and I had that flashback of, and one of the reasons that one of the trigger points in leaving corporate life was I heard the quote, I don't remember who it was from, but it was the quote of, nobody will ever remember the meeting that you made, but somebody will remember the practice that you missed. And that to me, with father of 5 kids, was like, dang.
Preach.
Like, how many times am I busting my butt to try and get to this meeting and make it on time? And it's probably not valuable. Probably not solving anything. Probably like it's just there to be an appearance, right? Versus I'm missing my kids, taking him to hockey practice or picking him up from school. And it's a struggle because it doesn't feel tangible. It doesn't, I can't put it on a scorecard.
Yes.
Right. I can't measure the faith growth of my kids or the relationship value, or man, we're at 74% right now of relationship between me and this child. Like I'm going to get it to 80. Like sure. I can't do that. But I can do that with sales calls or numbers or.
And it feels a lot better. Like it feels like, much more trackable. So
Totally.
it feels like a win you can check off.
Right.
Because you can't do that with your kiddos.
No, can't. But yeah, so it feels humbling. It's weird. It's all the things that we wanted in that process. Yeah. And it's daily, man. There's no other way to put it. And I have an amazing wife that allowed me to take another leap and figure it out.
So good, man.
Yeah.
So freaking good. Man, let me land the plane with this question.
Shoot.
You talk with a lot of entrepreneurs. That's like your everyday, man. You're talking with business owners.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is the biggest thing that you just see as a gap of like, oh man, you just don't get it. Like you're missing it. And what's the antidote? Maybe a more simple way of asking that is what's your biggest advice, man, for the kingdom entrepreneur that, you talk to a lot of them, man. And if you could say one thing, it's like, hey dude, this is the one thing that you've got to master if you're going to be a kingdom entrepreneur building an excellent business. Yeah.
I think, I was just listening to one of your other podcasts too with Chase, right? And he said something similar to this, not to this question, I don't think, but, and I'm reading the book, Think Again by Adam Grant. But he talks about the Dunning-Kruger effect and what he calls Mount Stupid, right? And I made a post about this too on LinkedIn, but it was, we have to walk into rooms and we have to know that we don't know everything. The entrepreneurs that I talk to that are, they just have an inability to acknowledge that they may not have all the answers.
So good, dude.
Right. And that it truly breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Because you can't help people that don't want to be helped.
Yes.
Right. And it's like, whether it's faith and it's the gospel or it's EOS or it's water and they're thirsty, right? Like you can't help them if they're not willing to say I'm thirsty. Right. And that just, when I talk to them, you can just tell. And there's a lack of humility or there's a lack of want or a willingness to even acknowledge that their business is failing or hurting or doesn't feel good, because it feels like culturally that we should have it all together. My title says CEO, so I should have a bunch of money and I should act like I know everything that's going on. But the ones that are truly winning, both financially and personally, and are spending time on vacation with their families or doing whatever, those are the ones that are walking into the rooms and they're going, okay, dude, everybody in here knows more than I do. Whether they're $100 million or they're $1 million, that to me is the difference between winning and losing in business.
Bro, that's so good. That's so good. And man, we have a lot of conversations about this because as we facilitate these founder groups, man, the people that win the most in these groups are the ones that are like, hey, I just need help.
Yeah.
Whether they are killing it or not,
right.
They're the ones that just show up. They're like, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Yep.
Like, help me.
Yep.
Man, that is, yeah.
Well, it's like anytime you ask a business, or even in the Foundry, right? You come in, we have issue processing, right? Or I'm talking to somebody on the phone. Hey, so what's going on in your business? You don't have any problems? Yeah. You have a perfect business? Dude, write a book. Let's get a podcast because you got things to teach me.
Amen.
Right? Like it doesn't exist.
Right. For sure, man. For sure.
So
that's a good word. That's a really good word. Hey, how can people reach out to you that maybe would be interested in sitting down and learning more about EOS with you?
Yeah, you find me on LinkedIn, Justin Boling, Boling, or call me, 970-556-2348.
Whoa.
Numbers out there everywhere.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah.
Might get some crazies calling you now, dude. Let's go.
Hey, honestly, like not many people pick it up and do it.
That's
so
fair.
Everybody always gives me crap and I'm like, dude, I'm here to help. So
Amen.
If people need it, people need a therapy call, want to talk EOS, I would love it. My 10-year focus, my 10-year target is 50% of people in Northern Colorado running on EOS in some fashion. And dude,
that's a BHAG, baby.
Dude, it gets me out of bed, man. I get so jacked to do that, whether it's give them a couple tools or they're running full EOS, doesn't matter to me. I think it can create a bubble here where, the U.S. economy starts to look at Northern Colorado and go, what's going on there?
Come on.
There's no recession, there's no nothing. It's just a bunch of good people living life.
Let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for being on the pod, man.
Of course, man.
Love you, dude.
Yeah.